I'm Trent Urban, owner and president of WireNut Home Services. From the get-go, we've always been an urban family endeavor. That started probably roughly about 2001 or so. I was working within my dad's contracting company, Urban Electric actually. We were on heavy construction job sites, things like that, nothing customer-centric. And the problem was in between, job delays or just whatever it may be on different projects, we needed other work to do to keep our team busy. We had always been a permanent employee kind of culture. We didn't do a lot of layoffs. We didn't bring people in for projects and get rid of them. And so that put a strain on the company to where we had to understand, where are they going to go next? Because of that, we would end up running all kinds of random service calls that we weren't really geared for. That would be adding security lighting on a driveway, putting in a ceiling fan, all those things. But we were at that time construction workers doing this work. And so we would go in without taking care of the home. We would go in without giving a price up front. We didn't have any of these guarantees and things like that that are customer centric that we do now. The reason I stated that it goes back to 2001 is because that's around the time that my dad and I were at a point of, hey, we really need to fix this somehow. We either need to stop doing service work, which what's that going to mean for the team, keeping them busy and so forth, or we need to do it right. And when we decided there was an option of doing it right, that took us down the path of finding where those answers were. 2001, we went to Waco, Texas, looked at a franchise, and at the time we were just electrical. So we looked at an electrical franchise, left there thinking it's intriguing, but it doesn't seem like the right model. For one, we're locally owned, we're not corporate in any way, there's no ownership outside of the state of Colorado. This would have somewhat changed that. For the next 3 years, actually, we kept looking, hadn't found a clear answer, and then 2004 comes around. We find a group advertised in a magazine called Success Group International, or Electricians Success International. So that was the subgroup ESI. We figured, hey, the first event for ESI, to learn more about it, is taking place in Vegas. So let's just go to Vegas, see if we have fun. Hopefully we get something out of this. And at the same time, my brother Rob had been looking for something different to do. He was a financial advisor and he really didn't like it. It wasn't his taste of a career. He had been talking about joining the family company. We're trying to figure out where to put him. And this trip to Vegas gave the three of us a chance to go out there, learn about this ESI model, and see where it took us. From that, we actually signed up on the spot. Mostly, we saw that it was a good model, and there was a guy, Patrick Kennedy, he was the grandfather of all this, that we met, and we could tell he was such a sincere person that gave us the trust, to take that leap. I think back on that, 2004 is when this happened. We started running calls in 2005. We had so many things that were so different from other companies. I remember our first van, W1 is what we called it, and that van was bright yellow. We painted it from white to yellow, and it was in Hummer yellow. So if you remember the Hummer vehicles, they had a really bright yellow. And then we had decals on it, very large, very prominent decals, of which also would reflect at night. So we took this bright van out on the road for the first time after stocking it and having it ready. And frankly, it was kind of weird because nobody had done anything like that before. And it was so bright, flashy, and kind of everything against my style. But we embraced it and decided, hey, if this gets the attention, the trust, the fun factor, the fact that we're friendly and we're approachable and we're customer-centric, homeowner-centric, then okay, fine. And that's what we did. We grew a fleet that way, with those bright yellow vans, doing a new model that nobody had ever done before because there wasn't really a service model only for electrical. So at that point, that gave us a chance to put my brother in place in a family endeavor. So we were operating the construction company, Urban Electric, as well as the fledgling brand new company, WireNut. At the time, kind of the WireNut, and the name came from electrical. That's what we were. We were electricians. I'm a second generation electrician, second generation master electrician actually. And so that's the birth of WireNut. I was in the building, but on the other side of the building for the first 3 years of operation. And so I was involved, but not really deeply involved because I was more geared on the construction projects, running those. What happened though is 2008 came along, and those of you that have worked through those years know how challenging it was. And what it caused, it forced us to make a tough decision, because on the construction company, we had been bidding work, and we weren't getting a lot of the jobs because there were people underbidding us, and a lot of them were doing it at cost because they were operating out of their garage or something like that. And so it really changed the dynamic of how we could keep our teams busy in construction. Because of that, we came to the conclusion that we needed to shed some overhead, some costs from Urban Electric, and I was one of those costs. So I either needed to go back running jobs and we would have to get rid of somebody else, or what ended up happening is I left Urban Electric and I joined WireNut, joining my brother. So December 1st of 2008 is when I started part-time at WireNut and was still part-time at Urban Electric while I handed over my obligations and the things that I knew about these various projects. So when I did that, it wasn't real exciting for me. I was leaving a company that had my name on it, that I thought was my future, all these different things. But I decided, well, I don't have a choice. So as what the Marines say, maybe embrace the suck. And that's what I did. And so I decided, let me learn this. It's a totally different model. I know electrical, but customer service side of it is entirely different. I did that. I acted as the service manager for WireNut, starting full-time starting January 1st, 2009, and joining my brother, who at the time was the general manager. He would handle marketing and various things like that. And I would handle the training of the electricians, the pricing of jobs, ordering and making sure that everything was there to have the jobs go in smoothly. I ended up learning that I liked it. It had a totally different nature than construction did, where one of the cool things I think of WireNut and our model is that you get paid for your knowledge, not for your body. And the good side of that is that your body, all of our bodies age. And so if you can stay in that career longer and be paid for your mind sticks around a lot longer than your body. And so that allows us to have what I always consider a very good industry to retire from. You're always back at home in your own bed each night. You can most likely be involved with coaching your kids, different things like that. Granted, we do have late evenings when the customer needs us, we need to show up. But it's not like what I was used to before, where we would be hundreds of miles away on a construction site, for example, at 11,000 feet up in the winter. It's not like that. That takes us to 2008, 2009. When my brother and I teamed up, we learned that it was a pretty impactful team up. Once we teamed up, we grew 100% each year for the first couple of years. And then because we're brothers, we decided, hey, we should probably start arguing now. And so we started doing that. It was coming to a head where things weren't fluid between us anymore. By this time, 2010, we had bought out our parents. The really, really cool blessing in that is that if we would not have created WireNut, then Urban Electric, it was already closing down. Maybe we would have hung on and gone through it somehow. But I have a hard time believing that my parents would have ended up having a retirement. And because of WireNut, my brother and I buying it out in 2010, my parents got the money for the retirement. Where I was alluding to, where my brother and I were having our issues, that was more 2011, 2012. We ended up splitting at that time at the end of 2012, and it came down to almost a coin flip. Which one's going to end up with the company? My brother, ultimately, he voted that he leaves and I stay. And that's what happened. I took on more debt, more risk, leveraged my life to the point where if this wouldn't have worked out, I could have lost my house. That didn't make my wife feel all that comfortable, but it worked out. It also caused me to have to take on the workload of not only what I was already doing, but what my brother had been doing because he was no longer there. And so those were pretty trying years. They, taught me a lot. And again, embrace the suck, I guess. Either it's going to break you or you're going to break it. And so that's what I did, is I worked through it and broke through that time frame. If I go through, though, what we've accomplished in a nutshell, there's a lot of stuff here on the timeline that speaks to that. But kind of in an all-encompassing, we started as a brand new model in Colorado Springs. We have worked in Denver, but overall we've been focused on Colorado Springs. And we managed to grow to where we're the most substantial name in town, added HVAC later, and then we added plumbing and drains later. And at this point, we're a full home services company, focused on Colorado Springs, very known in Colorado Springs. And even if other companies grow and do those kinds of things and become as known as we are, they will probably have a very, very hard time matching our awards. We've won the Excellence in Customer Service Award now 10 times. We got technically number 11 this year. They renamed it to Excellence in Business. And so we're the record holder of every single industry, every single company around. We're the record holder in that award. And so that's something we're very proud of. And honestly, when we decorated the building and did all these different things, it was all on the line of making sure that the team is proud of where they're at, that it's something different. We want to be positively impactful to everybody that ever comes encounter with WireNut. Our mission statement, Enriching Lives Through Trust in the Trades, is one of those. So we enrich the lives of the team, we enrich the lives of the stakeholders, we enrich the lives of the customers, and we enrich the lives of the vendors. And a lot of companies don't care about the vendor. With us, we partner with them, and that's what we do with everybody. So honesty, simplicity, being just a true, authentic person, that's what our company is supposed to be.